Ben and Joe coming up at 7:15 for Bryce Gobert, for Joe Virgin, for Chris Domino. I'm Barrett Salih. Game 3, Mets and Braves right now.
Go ahead, caller. Got a question for Michael Harris II?
Hey, Mike. Are you giving away your Bronco again this year?
You know it. Let me tell you how. One lucky fan could drive home Michael Harris II's custom Ford Bronco. Go to winmoneymikesbronco.com and get a link to enter for a chance to win today.
This year, it was all my idea.
No purchase necessary. Odds depend on entries received. Open to select legal residents of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee, 18 or older. Rules at winmoneymikesbronco.com. Entries must be received by and sweeps end.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
The time for Braves country to cheer a little louder, to rep the A everywhere you go, and celebrate every big win.
1-2 pitch, swung on and whacked in the air, deep right center field, heading to the gap, and that's down! He will score, it's an RBI double! And it's 6-5 Braves in the 7th.
As the 2025 Atlanta Braves start chopping their way back.
1 to Ozuna. Swung on and crushed, deep left field, Kepler going back, here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park, and the Braves win the game in the series.
Atlanta Braves baseball on the Braves Radio Network is brought to you by the original Louisiana hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold. Your local Ford dealers, proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Your local Hyundai dealer, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. John Foy and Associates Personal Injury Law. Get the strong arm. Arrow Exterminators. Make the right call and protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-GO-ARROW. Peachtree Orthopedics. Same day evenings and Saturdays. It's time to get better. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the Atlanta Braves. Yanmar Tractors and Engines, an official partner of the Atlanta Braves grounds crew. Your Atlanta area Lexus dealer. Experience amazing. Simply Sport, the official CBD partner of your Atlanta Braves. TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. City of Hope, Atlanta, making hope a reality for cancer patients throughout the Southeast. Attorney Ken Nugent. One call, that's all. Xfinity. Get the fastest connection to the Braves and stream the biggest moments from the best seat in the house with Xfinity. Pennington Grass Seed. Official partner of the Atlanta Braves grounds crew. ServPro. When disaster strikes, call ServPro to make it like it never even happened. Saya LTL Freight. The official freight and logistics company of the Atlanta Braves. Corona Extra. La Playa awaits. Georgia Power. The official electric energy partner of the Atlanta Braves. IBEW Local 613. Truist Park keeps the lights on with IBEW 613 electricians. The battery.
top of his windup, and the ball was really flying out of his hand. His velocity was up back where we used to see it more often. It'll be interesting to see if he's in the 98, 99 range again this evening, but he just seemed more compact, more in rhythm, and the ball was really coming out beautifully.
Well, it'd be great if the Braves could take the same approach tonight as they did last night. Give an early lead to their starting pitcher. Last night, the Braves had the 3-run first inning, handed that lead to Chris Sale. He took care of the rest, and man, it'd be great to put Spencer in the same situation.
100%. Those early runs are so vital and important, and they're kind of underrated. They're kind of like hitting with runners in scoring position. Nobody pays enough attention to that. So, again, if the Braves are getting on a roll, and we hope that they are, having won 6 of their last 8, part of that, of course, is Ronald Acuna at the top of the order, and he's doing a good job of setting the table.
A fan might come into the ballpark tonight and look at the starters for this evening's game, look at the numbers and say, Clay Holmes, 7-3, a 2.87 ERA. I thought he was a reliever. Well, they've converted him to the rotation. That's been a pretty positive story for the Mets this year.
Well, he's got a lot of pitches. He's got a lot of assortment, Ben. So as a starter, he can use his whole repertoire if he wants to. He's throwing good. He's pitched against the Braves 10 games, but all in relief, only giving up 1 earned run over the course of several years while he was with Pittsburgh and the Yankees.
Well, it would be a feather in the cap to get a sweep over the Mets. That's what the Braves have on their mind tonight. When we come back, Joe will introduce you to the starting lineups, and then after that, we'll have the first pitch. Braves and Mets coming up tonight on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
There's a tidal wave of clean car happiness sweeping across Braves country. Tidal Wave Auto Spa is your go-to car wash destination for a game day ready ride. Experience Major League Clean at Tidal Wave, the official.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body.
I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You are an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
He's getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
At Centennial Park in downtown Atlanta. Walk to iconic spots like the College Football Hall of Fame, and with new developments like Centennial Yards and the Center on the Rise, you'll feel the spirit of Atlanta's past and present. With spacious, newly renovated rooms, Omni Atlanta is where past memories meet new adventures. Book your stay today at omnihotels.com/Atlanta, because some things are too good not to relive.
Don't miss Tom Glavine and his Hall of Fame Insight every Monday afternoon at 3:30 during Chuck and Chernoff on the radio home of the Braves, 680 The Fan and the Fan app.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Georgia Power, the official electric energy partner of the Atlanta Braves. First for the New York Mets, Lindor. Brendan Nimmo moves back to the 2 spot in the order to play left field. In right field, hitting third, Juan Soto. Pete Alonso will be at first base batting cleanup. Starling Marte, the DH, remains in the lineup, but he drops to the 5 spot in the order. Batting 6th at second base is Jeff McNeil. In center field, batting 7th, Tyrone Taylor. Francisco Alvarez will do the catching as he did in Game 1 of this series. He bats 8th, and batting 9th and playing third base is Ronnie Mauricio. Again, for the Mets, it's Lindor, Nimmo, and Soto. Alonso, Marte, and McNeil, Taylor, Alvarez, and Mauricio. For the Atlanta Braves, leading it off, playing right field, the red-hot Ronald Acuna Jr. Alex Verdugo's had a great homestand. He'll bat second and play left field. Batting third, playing third base, is Austin Riley. Matt Olson has hit in 9 straight, and he'll be at first base, batting cleanup. Batting fifth, the DH, Marcell Ozuna. Batting 6th, the catcher tonight, again, will be Drake Baldwin. Hitting 7th at second base, Ozzie Albies. Batting 8th in center field, Michael Harris II. And batting 9th, the slick fielding shortstop, Nick Allen. Again, for the Braves, it's Acuna, Verdugo, and Riley, Olson, Ozuna, and Baldwin, Albies, Harris, and Allen. Beautiful night for baseball. Fans are continuing to file in and headed to their seats, and we're getting headed right now to the first pitch right after this timeout on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to...
From about 1905 to 1925 or so, teams actually issued cardigans as part of their team uniform. In that era, knitwear was actually having a heyday in sports. Think of ski sweaters or Argyle sweater vests on the Gulf Green. And baseball decided to jump on the bandwagon and create cardigans.
And a beautiful night for baseball. A lot prettier than we've been having lately, but it is gorgeous tonight. Game time temperature 80 degrees, wind out of the west at 10 miles an hour. Lineups have been exchanged with the umpires. Paul Clemens behind the plate, Ramon De Jesus at first, Quinn Walcott, the crew chief, at second tonight, and Edwin Jimenez is the umpire at third. Say fans, Tire Discounters Round Tripper Home Run Promotion offers Braves fans the next day instant savings on sets of select tires, plus a free alignment and oil change. The more homers the Braves hit, the bigger the deals at Tire Discounters. Learn more at tirediscounters.com/Braves. Atlanta going for the sweep. And as I say that, out comes Spencer Strider to lead the troops onto the field. Braves will try to make it 3 in a row over New York. Last year, they won the season series against the Mets 7-6. Defensively in the outfield for the Braves, left field to right, it's Verdugo, Harris, and Acuna. First to third, it's Olson, Albies, Allen, and Riley. Behind the plate, Drake Baldwin. And on the mound, making his 7th start, is Spencer Strider. 26 years old, 6 feet 205. Out of Knoxville, Tennessee, 4th-round pick by the Braves in 2020 out of Clemson. He's 1-5, a 4.35 ERA. That one win came in his last start against Colorado, and it was a beaut. 6 innings, a 3-hit shutout ball, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. In his career against New York, 8 games, 6 of those are starts, and a good record, 4-1, but a high ERA of 5.5. So far this year at home, Spencer's 1-1, a 4.09 ERA. Lefties a 2.18 average against him. Right-handers 2.11. He's allowed 5 home runs total. Spencer wants a new baseball, but he's finished his warm-up tosses. We're ready for action, and to tell you all about it once again, Here's Ben Ingram.
Thanks so much, Joe. Final game of this series. And before we dive into the first pitch, I want to remind you that you can cash in on the baseball action with Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the Atlanta Braves. Download Prize Picks, use code BRAVES, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Well, the Braves have gone to the broom closet just once all year. That was in a 3-game sweep of the Twins earlier this season, and now a chance to sweep the Mets, or just their second sweep of this season. And how sweet it would be against one of their biggest rivals, and according to us, the biggest rival that the Braves have. Lindor, Nimmo, and Soto. And now for the ball game. And the pitch misses outside. Underway at 7:16 Eastern and 6:16 Central. 1 ball and no strikes on Lindor. Pitch on the way from Spencer Strider. And that'll be whacked in the air out towards center. Tracking to his left. Harris runs it down. Excellent read on that one. Sprinting hard to his left. And able to get there for the out. 1 down. Braves fan out in their home white uniform tops and pants. Red lettering, red numerals outlined in navy. Braves across the chest on top of the red tomahawk. And the Mets wearing their traveling gray tops, gray pants. Blue lettering, blue numerals outlined in orange. New York arching across the chest of their gray uniforms. 1 down. That brings Brandon Nimmo up to the plate. And he'll be followed by Juan Soto. Right-hander Strider kicks and fires. First pitch, fastball 98. That's a called strike. That's a good sign, Joe.
As we said, his last start against the Rockies, that velocity has cranked up a little bit.
0-1 to Nimmo. Just missed with a fastball there. Those first couple of outings, 93, 94, 95 with a fastball. And what Spencer was telling us and what we were hearing from Snit as well, he just needs more reps, needs more time. That's exactly the case. 1-1. That misses low. And it's hard to miss a year and just roll right out of the rack throwing 100 again.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with mechanics, with his delivery, and trying to get in sync, as Brian Snitker said.
There's the 2-1 to Nimmo. And a swing and a miss. Good-looking slider. Count even 2-2. Strider, fastball, slider, change and a curve. And, of course, the deadliest of his weapons, that fastball-slider combo. 26-year-old righty looking for his first strikeout of the game. 2-2 to Nimmo. Down he goes. Got him on a slider. Went down and in with that slider, and he went golfing for it. Got nothing but air on that swing. And 2 down. By the way, the time of the first pitch brought to you by Schumann Farms. Look for real sweet brand Vidalia onions from Schumann Farms in a store near you. So 2 away for Juan Soto. Braves trying to keep him quiet. He does have a couple of hits in this series, including a homer. He's gone 2 for 7 in the series. He'll take a first pitch slider low. For Strider, you mentioned his numbers in his career versus the Mets. His very first career win came against the Mets. So did his major league debut. 1-0 to Soto. And there's a called strike. Got a fastball across to the bottom of the zone. You go back to 2021, and it is funny thinking back on Strider being a reliever. That's what he was for a while when he first came up. And his first 2 big league appearances came at the very end of the 2021 season, both against the Mets. There's a called strike. Got a fastball over at 98. And that second outing was when he earned the very first win of his big league career. And, of course, 20-game winner a few seasons later. 1-2 on Juan Soto. Pitch on the way. And he missed low and inside. Tried that slider. That's the pitch that he used to get Nimmo, who went after it. Soto a little bit more disciplined. And he lays off with the count to go to 2-2. Time called by Soto. He's digging around there in the left-hand batter's box. No score, top of the first inning. Strider searching for a 1-2-3 first. And the 2-2. Fouled off over by the Mets dugout. That last outing for Strider, 13 strikeouts versus the Rockies. 6 shutout innings. It was the most strikeouts he's had in a game since July 20th, 2023, when he also had 13 strikeouts against the Diamondbacks. The 2-2 to Soto. Line drive fouled on the right field line. Just missed being a fair ball. That was also Strider's first win since September of 2023. So crossed a lot of things off of his list of things to do in that last outing versus the Rockies. And looking to continue that here today.
And only 87 pitches that day, too.
2-2. That'll be poked into right field. That time waited on a slider and punched one through the right side of the infield in between Albies and Olsen. 2-out single. That'll bring Pete Alonso up to the plate.
Well, that one was belt high and not spinning a whole lot. He's fortunate Soto only picked up a single on it.
Pete Alonso, 2 for 8 in the series. Leading the league in RBIs with 63. First pitch he sees is clubbed through the left side. Base hit into left field, turned around a fastball and blistered it right between Allen and Riley. So back-to-back 2-out singles for the Mets. They have men at first and second, 2 down for Starling Marte.
There are a lot of guys in their order tonight that have a lot of hits against Spencer, especially the first 2 guys. Lindor came in 6 for 16. Nimmo 8 for 16 with 2 homers. Soto now with 3 hits. Alonso with 3. Marte, McNeil. They've all had some success against Spencer of one kind or another.
First pitch to Marte. He swings and misses against the slider. By the way, the single by Soto, career hit number 1,000 for him. And he's at second base. Pete Alonso over at first base. Marte did not play in game 1. He was 2 for 4 last night with a couple of singles. 0-1, a swing and a miss at a slider. So back-to-back sliders have gotten Spencer ahead 0-2. And I don't think you'd blame him one bit. He threw another one low and away where he couldn't reach it. 0-2 to Marte. Ground ball weakly to third. Riley's got it on a waist-high bounce. Throws over to first base for the out. And that ends the top of the first inning. So Strider allows 2 singles. Nothing after that. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Mets nothing.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time. It is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Digging, grading, tilling, and mowing. All in a day's work with Yanmar, the tractor that works as hard as you do. Discover new possibilities at yanmartractor.com.
Stream Braves baseball in crystal clear HD on the Fan app. Now with Apple CarPlay, so you can get it directly through your dashboard. Download the Fan app now.
Into the bottom of the first inning, no score. It'll be Ronald Acuna, Alex Verdugo, and Austin Riley facing the right-hander Clay Holmes, who goes to the firing line for the Mets. First pitch on the way from the tall righty Holmes will be taken low and outside. The leather for New York has Pete Alonso at first base, Jeff McNeil at second base, Francisco Lindor the shortstop, Ronnie Mauricio is at third base. Introduce you to their outfield after the 1-0 pitch to Acuna. Here it is from Holmes. And a called strike, fastball 94. Brandon Nimmo on patrol in left field. Tyrone Taylor mans center field. And Juan Soto roams right field. Francisco Alvarez is the catcher. And the pitcher, Clay Holmes. Converted reliever. In the rotation now for the Mets. And there's a bouncer out to second. McNeil will squeeze it. He'll throw over to first base, and one down. For Holmes, he's 6'5", 245 pounds, right-hander from Slocum, Alabama. That's just south of Dothan, which is about 4 hours south of here. 32-year-old Clay Holmes has been a success story moving from the bullpen into the rotation for the Mets. How about these numbers? 7-3 with a 2.87 ERA through 14 starts. And, Joe, this is a guy who not only was a reliever for the Yankees, he was their closer and was an all-star a couple of times. There's a called strike on Verdugo.
He throws very much downhill, Ben. I mean, he's tall, as you said, but, I mean, everything kind of comes over the top and a very steep angle, and he throws hard.
Very deep arsenal of pitches for Clay Holmes. Pitch on the way to Verdugo, high and outside. We'll see lots of sinkers, but he's got more tricks than that, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a hard sinker, but he's got a split, a sweeper. He's got a good sweeper. Slider, he'll cut as well as sink the fastball.
There's the 1-1 pitch. And a called strike on Verdugo.
And this is his teammate last year in New York, Verdugo. Alex gave him a little tip of the helmet when he looked out at him.
No score, bottom of the first. 1-2 to Verdugo. That'll be fouled back. By the way, that strikeout that Strider had in the top of the first inning of Brandon Nimmo, our Gas South bringing the heat strikeout. Just like Spencer Strider, Gas South is bringing the heat with no deposits, no hidden fees, and simple natural gas plans. This difference is good. 1 out, bases empty, and a 1-2 count on Verdugo. Clay Holmes, ball in a black glove, and set right at the letters. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Verdugo slices one deep down the left field line towards the corner, and a foul ball. That rattles around just barely foul for Verdugo. He makes a turn at first base and jogs back to the plate. Talking about Clay Holmes, that 2.87 ERA, very impressive. His last outing against the Rays on the 13th, he did his part even though the Mets lost the game. Holmes got a no decision. Went 5 innings, giving up 1 run on 3 hits, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. And he's given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 10 of his 14 starts. And he's a guy that the Mets identified as someone that they wanted to sign and convert to a starter. They gave him a 3-year deal. 1-2 pitch in the air to right field. Juan Soto over to his right. He'll gallop to it, makes a chest-high catch, and 2 down in the first inning. But we were talking about Clay Holmes and chatting with some of the Mets folks about him. And, you know, the idea is they were able to identify him as a guy who, yes, he had been a reliever, but really good sinker, and they felt like if they could stretch him out with the deep arsenal of pitches that he has, he'd be perfect for a starter.
Well, he has certainly not let them down. He's been really good.
Austin Riley takes a ball low. First pitch slider. Riley 0 for 7 in the series, but he had the game-winning sacrifice fly in Game 1 to walk it off in the 10th inning. And looking for a knock right here versus Holmes. 1-0 pitch from the righty, and a called strike. That time got a slider over. Braves have seen Holmes 10 previous times in his career, and all 10 out of the bullpen. He's never allowed a homer to a Brave player. Braves hoping to change that tonight. 1-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Pretty good sweeper there. That's the pitch that you mentioned. And for Holmes, 8 seasons in the big leagues, 325 appearances, 18 of those as a starter. He had 4 his rookie year as a Pirate, and the 14 that he's had this season with the Mets. 1-2 pitch in the air to right field. Juan Soto over to his left towards the foul line, and that lands just barely foul. I mean, just plopped down onto the grass right outside the line. Still a 1-2 count on Riley. Folks, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. Visit your neighborhood Valvoline for a stay-in-your-car oil change done in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed. That's Valvoline. Mets had a couple of hits in the top of the first. Back-to-back 2-out singles. Nothing beyond that. Braves trying to avoid a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning. And if Riley can reach, Olsen would come to the plate. Meanwhile, the tall right-hander Clay Holmes straightens, set at the letters. 1-2 to the plate and hit well to left field. Brandon Nimmo fighting the sun, and he will win that battle. makes the catch out in deep left. Braves go down 1-2-3. We go to the top of the second. No score.
At the Battery Atlanta.
Hey, Braves fans, don't get tricked into following the baseball season or the Atlanta sports scene anywhere else. Listen to Cellini and Domino weekdays 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan.
Ben, Joe, and Jay Chad with you on a gorgeous evening here in Atlanta. Great to have you with us on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Final game of this series and the final game of the homestand. Braves start up a road trip tomorrow against the Marlins. It'll be the first time we've been to Miami this year. And then we go to New York to see these Mets next week. That'll be a 4-game series. So after going 70 games without seeing the Metropolitans, we'll see them 7 times in 10 games. And so far, so good, as the Braves won in Game 1 the other night 5-4, and then won last night 5-0. Here's Jeff McNeil. And the first pitch ball outside from Spencer Strider.
And while when the Braves are in Miami playing the Marlins, the Mets go to Philadelphia. So they've got a stretch of Braves, Phillies, Braves.
There's a fly ball to left field, slicing towards foul ground. Verdugo sprinting that way, but that's out of his reach. Bounces on the warning track and rattles around, so 1-1. So, yeah, all of a sudden, lots of NL East games amongst the teams in this division.
Well, and for the Mets, they've lost 5 in a row, and the first 3 of those were to a good and hot Tampa Bay team. Then come here, then go to Philly, then go home and play the Braves again. So it's a rough patch for them, too.
Philly in Miami tonight. And as we start up the action this evening, the Phillies are just 1 game back of these Mets. 1-1 to McNeil. Line drive, I should say, out to Matt Olson, caught out of the air. So he lines out 1 down. Folks, only the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is bold enough to be the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce is also the official hot sauce of our pregame meal this evening, which was delicious. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some. You had all the condiments out tonight. You had the honey out. Louisiana hot sauce.
The hot sauce was good on the...
Tyrone Taylor takes a called strike.
It's good on the chicken and dumplings. By the way, Louisiana hot sauce had a display out on the Battery today. A Jeep that's all dolled up with Louisiana brand hot sauce and a big bottle.
One of Taylor inside.
Sticking right up out of the roof. Had a tent set up, so they were letting people sample it.
Well, don't sample it unless you're ready to buy a bunch of it. 1 taste is all you need. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In the air towards right center field, and that'll drop down in right center. Playing on the hop, Acuna sends it into Ozzie Albies. It's a 1-out single for Tyrone Taylor. By the way, this afternoon, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's kind of funny. I walked by them setting up the tent, and I went, buy you some. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He had no idea what I was talking about.
That's the tagline. By the way, this afternoon, we recorded episode 60 of our From the Braves Booth podcast. You want to catch up on that one? Here's Francisco Alvarez. And Alvarez takes a called strike. Per usual, lots of great questions and comments sent in by all of our listeners. So thank you all for being out there and participating in our show. And that is live now, episode 60 of From the Braves Booth. Good lead at first base. There goes the runner Taylor. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw down by Baldwin. And that's a little bit too late. Stolen base for Tyrone Taylor. He's got good wheels. Had a really good jump there. And that is his 9th steal in 10 tries.
Yeah, there was no way Drake had a chance because Spencer didn't make him stop. This guy was sidestepping his way off first and never had to stop.
No score, top of the second. Runner at second, 1 out. 0-2 to Alvarez. Boy, it looked like a good pitch. It's a check swing. He didn't go on the check swing, but the pitch looked like a strike.
Yeah, it did. And it was.
Paul Clemens Said ball one. Strider will try again. 1-2 to Alvarez. Ground ball, left side. Allen deep in the hole. Plants, fires, bounces the throw, and got him. That took him into shallow left field, charging hard to his right. Reached across his torso for a backhanded grab, and then completed a good throw, bouncing it perfectly to first base.
Tell me who's playing better shortstop than Nick Allen.
Yeah, he covers so much ground. Gets rid of it so quickly. Wonderful job by Allen. 2 down for Ronnie Mauricio. Switch hitter batting left. Takes a ball low. This Mets team has lost 5 in a row. And they've been outscored 34-13 during their 5-game losing streak. It's their longest losing streak since May of last year. 1-0 to Mauricio. Fouled back into the screen. And before this 5-game losing streak started for the Mets, they had won 15 of their previous 18. So they were burning it up, and all of a sudden, things shifted a different direction very quickly.
Well, they got 3 hits tonight. That's on a hot pace for them because during this losing streak, they've hit only 208.
1-1 misses low. They've been shut out twice in this 5-game stretch. And they are 5 for 35 with runners in scoring position in this stretch. 2-1 liner into center, coming in Harris. That'll drop in front of him. Around third base and scoring Taylor. And the Mets get a clutch base hit from the guy batting 9th in their order. They've had such a hard time getting clutch base hits from everybody. Well, this time the guy batting 9th comes through, and it's 1-0 Mets.
Say that 9-hole hitter has been a bad omen for the Braves. Rockies had a 9-hole hitter tear him up too, and it looked like Michael he got a good hop and was ready to try and throw out Taylor, but he couldn't quite get his hand on the baseball.
And a very irritated Spencer Strider got a new ball, walked back out to the mound. Here's Francisco Lindor. Runner at first, 2 down, 1-0 Mets. Pick off over to first base. Mauricio back in standing. Mauricio 2 steals and 2 attempts. He's got a good lead over there at first base. Pitch to Lindor. And he missed low with a fastball. Lindor 0 for 9 in this series. His average for the season at .270. A lot of pop in his bat, though. 14 home runs this season. 1-0 pitch. That floats away. 2 balls and no strikes. Braves hoping to keep him quiet for a few more at-bats in this series. And hopefully take this game and pick up a sweep. But it's 1-0 Mets in the top of the second. 2-0 pitch. Hit hard to center field, coming in Harris, and a chest-high catch made by Michael. That was hit right on the nose. But fortunately, Harris right there. And that ends the top of the second inning. But a run for the Mets.
Hey, Buck Bellew here. When the Braves don't play at 7, join me for the new Buck Bellew Show here on The Fan, 680 and 93.7, home of the Braves.
Clay Holmes and the Mets have an early 1-0 lead as the Braves come to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. Leading it off, Matt Olson will be followed by Marcell Ozuna and Drake Baldwin. Holmes had a 1-2-3 first inning. And the first pitch to Olson will miss up and in. First pitch cutter to Matt. Olson 3 for 8 in the series, including a homer last night. He went 2 for 4. And a big part of that 5-0 victory for the Braves last night. 1-0 to Olson. And he sneaked one in on the inside corner. That cutter under the hands of Olson. And a 1-1 count. Matt with a 19-game on-base streak and 16 RBIs in that stretch. 1-1 check swing, fouled off over by the Mets dugout. In that stretch, Olson 21 for 70, so hitting 300. And just doing a great job getting on base. 15 home runs on the season. Right-hander Holmes set right at the letters. And the 1-2. And he missed high with a fastball. Francisco Alvarez held it there a beat longer, trying to get the call from Paul Clemens, and that was unsuccessful. So 2-2 on Olson. They give him a lot of room to third base at left field line and third base line wide open. Mauricio, the third baseman, several feet to his left. Olson spits on a changeup low and outside. 3-2. Olson staring down Clay Holmes. And the payoff pitch. And a bouncer over the mound, out towards second, back of the bag, Lindor. He's got it, throws over to first base for the out. And one retired here in the bottom of the second. Second inning means it's the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning. And if the Braves steal a base here in the bottom of the second, our contestant, April Binion, will win $800 in free marathon gas cards. And you can enter the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge by visiting Braves.com/Stolen Base Challenge. But got to get a man on base to have a shot at it, and that's 4 up and 4 down for Clay Holmes. Got a really good sinker, already a couple of ground balls, 2 flyouts. Ozuna takes a ball high. We were telling you about the path for Clay Holmes. Mentioned that he's from South Alabama, or as they would say, L.A., Lower Alabama. Clay Holmes out of Slocum, Alabama. There's the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. He was drafted by the Pirates in the 9th round of the 2011 draft. And he signed with the Pirates over his commitment to play on the Plains for Auburn. Spent some time with the Yankees, twice an All-Star, and then signed with the Mets this offseason. 1-1 low and outside, 2-1. Holmes has been a major player in some of the great numbers the Mets have put up on the mound this season. There's the 2-1 pitch and a called strike. That time got a cutter over.
I've been watching his stride and his delivery. Sometimes it looks like he's about to fall down because it looks like he lands on his heel and kind of spins.
2-2 and a ground ball weakly to short. Up with it, Lindor. And he'll fling it across for the out, 2 down.
It's not every delivery, but I've seen it on several where I thought he would look down like, man, what did I step on? But not so.
One 1-0 Mets, bottom of the second. Drake Baldwin, 1 hit in this series. Trying to keep the Braves out of a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. He'll take a ball outside. Had some good questions today in our list of questions from our listeners on our podcast about Drake Baldwin. And it's been so much fun to talk about him, and it's been fun to talk with the coaching staff about what they've seen from Drake. 1-0 is outside, 2-0. You mention his name to Snit or anybody else in the staff, and they just start glowing with a very positive review of what they've seen.
Their eyes just light up.
Hitters count here. Now the 2-0. Inside. Kind of swiveled his hips out of the way of that sweeper. 3 balls and no strikes on Baldwin. Braves looking for their first base runner of the game, trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Mets already have 4 hits in this game, including an RBI single by Ronnie Mauricio. 3-0 to Baldwin. There's a strike on the inside corner with a sinker. Little breeze stirring the flags in right center. 3-1 pitch. Baldwin fouls one off. For the most part, the entire field covered in shade. There's one little portal of sunshine shining in shallow left field, but currently no defensive player standing in it. Fans down the left field line, especially in the 3rd and 4th decks, have the sun shining on them. Everybody else in the shade and enjoying the cool of the evening. 3-2 pitch will miss outside. Miss with a sinker. And a 2-out walk to Drake Baldwin. First base run of the game for the Braves. It'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. What we've seen the last 2 nights has been an extension of what we've seen for the last several years. I think you mentioned it last night, the last time the Mets won the season series from the Braves. What was it, 2017, I believe it was?
I believe that's right.
Pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies, and he'll swat one foul. The Braves have actually won 23 of their last 32 games against the Mets, dating back to August of 2022. And we all remember what happened in that time period when the Braves were trailing by several games in the division and then came back, hunted down the Mets, and passed them, won the division, just ripped the rug right out from under the Mets that season. 0-1 to Albies, fouled off.
Ozzie's a good man to have up there. The way he's swinging the bat, he's hit in 23 of his last 31 games. Double and a triple last night. Got to handle an 0-2 count right here, though.
Batting from the left side against Holmes. 0-2 pitch. And that changeup fluttered away, 1-2. Well, glad he was able to continue in the game last night and play today after getting plunked in the kneecap. I bet that was sore this morning. Drake Baldwin, a lead at first base, held by Alonso. 1-2, swung on, miss. Got a fastball by him at 97. First strikeout of the game for Clay Holmes. That's out number 3 here in the bottom of the second inning. We go to the top of the third. 1-0 Mets.
And if you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the 1-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Mets 1, Braves nothing. Into the top of the third inning here at Truist Park alongside Joe Simpson and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. Xfinity knows live baseball is better with less freezing at the plate, and that's why we deliver Wi-Fi built for streaming with ultra-low lag. Get the fastest connection to the Braves and stream more of the biggest moments for the best seat in the house with Xfinity. First pitch from Spencer Strider here in the top of the third inning is a called strike on Brandon Nimmo. 2, 3, and 4 in the Mets order. Nimmo, the only strikeout victim to this point for Strider. 0-1 pitch. Blew that by him. Fastball 96 up in the zone. Nimmo, 240 hitter. He's gone 1 for 8 in this series. Young man out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. 32 years old. 0-2 pitch. That'll be fouled back.
Did you ever watch the old Cheyenne movie or Western on TV when you were a kid?
No, that one doesn't ring a bell.
No, you too young. You are too young.
Sounds good, though. 0-2 to Nimmo. Looped in the air to left field towards the line. Verdugo trying to get there, can't get there. That one hops just fair and rattles around in the corner. And that'll be 2 bags out of Nimmo. Sent that one deep down the left field line and dropped in perfectly. And it's a leadoff double for Nimmo.
It's funny, he had a funny swing on the pitch before, kind of a half swing to foul a pitch off. And the swing on the double wasn't a whole lot different, except that it was a full swing. Fastball at the heart of the plate.
Yeah, I think Strider wanted that fastball where the first one was. That first fastball that he showed Nimmo was swung on and missed, and then that one right down the middle. So here's Soto. Pitch on the way to him. And a backdoor curveball over for a strike. 0-1 on Soto. Soto, 26 years old, out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Waiting on the 0-1. Let him is high and outside. Soto grew up baseball in his blood. His dad was a salesman, but also a catcher in a local men's league, and was always taking Soto and his brothers to his games. Here's a 1-1 pitch on the way to Soto from Spencer Strider. Let him is high and outside. And Soto has said that he trained with his dad, who would find crumpled paper, rocks, bottle caps, whatever, to throw at him and have him hit with a bat. And it was constantly trying to make contact on whatever object he was throwing at Soto. 2-1 pitch, check swing. Didn't go after the slider. 3-1. Then with the Nationals, the Padres, the Yankees, and now the Mets. Signed that 15-year deal with the Mets. 3-1. There's a called strike.
Good pitch. Backdoor slider has a base open. Didn't care if it was a strike or not, but got the call. Throw it again.
Soto awaits. Strider brings it. And Soto hits one way up in the air to shallow right. Ozzie going out, Ronald coming in. That will be Ronald Acuña's ball. Makes the catch in shallow right field. That was way up in the air.
Yeah, I lost it. It's been so long since we've played a game with some sunshine and blue sky.
Yeah. Well, it rained this afternoon. Had a little shower where I live. Nice little summertime shower. That got out of here. And beautiful evening. I'm just glad to get to the ballpark this evening, not see the caps off the tarp. 1 down for Pete Alonso. There goes the runner. Pitches a strike. Throw down to third base. Close play, not in time. Pretty good throw by Drake Baldwin, but Brandon Nimmo swipes third.
Again, they're taking those bases on Strider.
Stolen base.
Nimmo's 6th steal and 7 tries this year. Now the infield will come in. And Alonso just thinking, just get it in the air, get a sac fly driving the run. It's 1-0 Mets. We're in the top of the third. 0-1 to Alonso. Number fouled on the first baseline. Alonso singled through the left side in the first inning. Mets have 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Braves, no runs, no hits, no errors. Strider at 47 pitches, 32 strikes, 1 strikeout in the game. Make it 2 strikeouts in the game. A slider fans Pete Alonso. He went reaching across the plate for it, couldn't find it. That's a big strikeout. And before Starling Marte digs in, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Never miss a pitch of the Braves.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan, and streaming free on the Fan app.
First pitch to Marte is a ball low.
Boy, that slider to Alonso was perfectly placed down and away.
Got the swing and miss when it needed it most, with one out and a runner at third. Now 2 down with a runner at third base. 1-0 to Marte, and he swings with all his might, missed the slider. Pretty good batch of sliders this inning.
Well, it was another ball outside.
Marte grounded out to third back in the first inning. Strider trying to get his man right here, keep that runner stranded at third base, and Nimmo. He'll cut loose a 1-1, and he missed tied, 2 balls and a strike. Righty-righty matchup. Strider set right at the belly. And the 2-1 pitch fouled back. That time brought heat in on his hands. Fouled it right off the label back into the screen. And now Strider can see the finish line here in the third inning. Let's see if he can get across it. Ready with his 2-2. Here it comes. And a ground ball out to short, charging Allen. Gloves, exchanges, fires, bounce the throw, and Olsen with a great grab over at first base. And that secures out number 3. And that leaves Nimmo stranded at third. A clean inning that go round for Strider. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It is 1-0 Mets.
Hey Braves fans, every day injuries happen on and off the field. But when you're hurt on the job, it can be tough to get back in the game.
Mets. Harris, Allen, and Acuna coming up with the Braves here in the bottom of the third inning. Clay Holmes goes back to work. His first pitch to Michael Harris will be flip out on the left field line and rattling around down there. You need all the energy you can get for game day. And at Georgia Power, we know that energy costs are an important part of every budget, and we're committed to providing tools and assistance to make a difference so you can save more energy for the game. Learn more at georgiapower.com/myenergy. 0-1 to Michael Harris, and a bouncer up the middle, ranging to his left. Lindor, he's got it, and fires over to Alonso for the out. Lindor went to his left, and by the time he got leather on it, he was standing in shallow center. One down for Nick Allen. I had somebody tweeting me information on the Cheyenne TV show. Apparently it ran from 55 to 62.
Yeah.
Clint Walker.
Big dude, boy.
Pitch on the way to Allen. There's a called strike. I love the song I Can Still Make Cheyenne, George Strait.
Well, that's a good song. Cheyenne did have his own lead-in music.
Here's the 0-1. Allen with a scorcher right on down the left field line. A fair ball. Kicks off the sidewall. Playing the carom Brandon Nimmo. And by the time he pounces on it, Allen standing on second base with a double. That's what you like to see. Apparently that's the theme tonight. The 9-hole hitters making something happen. Happened for Mauricio and the Mets as he drove in a run in the second inning. And now Allen with a one-out double.
Nick was 0 for 3 in this series, but had 3 walks. A couple of big ones last night. And that double snaps an 0 for 8 overall.
Ronald Acuna Won the National League Player of the Week last week. In this series, he's gone 2 for 6, and now an opportunity to tie the game with a base hit right here. First pitch to Acuna. A ground ball, ramps off the mound, out to second. McNeil squeezes, throws to first base for the out, 2 down. Advancing to third base, Nick Allen. So now the Braves need a 2-out base hit from Alex Verdugo, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. It's been a pretty good series for Verdugo. Go back to game 1. He had a pinch hit knock in the 8th inning, scored a run. And then a base hit in the first inning last night and scored a run. Bats with 2 down. First pitch spins him out of there. Up and in with a sinker. Looking to tie the game right here. It's 1-0 Mets, but a runner at third, 2 down for Verdugo. Facing his former teammate Clay Holmes. 1-0 pitch. Inside with a cutter. Good favorable count now for Verdugo. Left-handed hitter digs back in. Waves the bat over the plate. Now steadies it. Lead at third by Allen. 2-0 pitch. A high strike over the outside corner. Last night when the Braves had situations like this, they found a way. They made their minds up they were going to come through, and they did last night. Need some more of that right here. 2-1 is low. 3 balls and a strike. And if he walks him, it'll be Riley's turn.
Get a good pitch to hit. Counts in your favor. Look for it in a certain spot. He's pitched him in a couple of times in this at bat. Strike on the inside corner. That was a sinker right at the knees on the inside corner. So now a full count on Verdugo. Holmes looking in, now straightens. Verdugo ready. 3-2. Missed high with a cutter. And that's ball 4 to put runners at the corners for Austin Riley. Second walk allowed by Clay Holmes. And now you put the bat in the hands of a man who is definitely due in Austin Riley. 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 8 in the series. Base hit at least ties the game. Trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Riley back in the first inning. Hit one to pretty deep left field. But it was caught by Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo out there looking directly into the sunlight. Coming to that small portal of the stadium down the first baseline. It's shining on him like a spotlight out there. Pitch from Holmes. Outside. Good stop by Alvarez. Mentioned about an inning ago that little spot of sunlight was in shallow left. It's now moved all the way out there to deep left. And Nimmo fighting that Georgia sunshine out there. 1 ball and no strikes on Riley. Verdugo at first, Allen at third. 1-0 pitch. Laid off of that slider away. 2 balls, no strikes. I'd like him to try that again and get one by Alvarez all the way to the backstop.
That worked for a run last night. That's when they had Luis Torrens behind the plate. Favorable count. 2 balls, no strikes. Here it is to Riley. And a called strike. Right down the middle with a sinker. Riley, the 5th Brave to the plate here in the bottom of the third inning, trailing 1-0. 2-1 pitch in the dirt, bounces away from Alvarez, but not far enough for Allen to test it. And a 3-1 count on Riley.
That wasn't even a short hop stop by the catcher. That bounced well out in front of the plate. He did a good job to get leather on it.
3-1 for Riley. Looking to mash one somewhere, find a hole, and tie the game. Bouncing the bat on his right shoulder, staring down the righty Holmes. 3-1 to the plate, swung on a bouncer, foul down the left field line. That was right outside the bag at third. 96-mile-an-hour sinker that he got around on. Verdugo will be on the move here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Allen takes his lead at third. And Holmes looking into his catcher Alvarez, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do to get Riley. About to find out. 3-2, swung on, missed it, a sweeper away. So the strikeout of Riley leaves runners at the corners. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We've completed 3 innings. We go to the top of the 4th, 1-0.
If we don't score here, I might have to switch sports. Panicking won't turn a pop-up into a home run. Just like stressing about tickets won't get us better seats. What about the unhinged prices? They're ridiculous fees. That's why I use Game Time. On Game Time, prices actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, even up to 60% off. And with the Game Time guarantee, I know our tickets are legit. Yes! I did not want to have to get into pickleball.
What time is it?
It's Game Time.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
That'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Top of the 4th inning, it's a 1-0 lead for the Mets. Spencer Strider will be facing McNeil, Taylor, and Alvarez, and he's hoping for a clean inning. And so are you, because it's the Tidal Wave Auto Spy inning. Tidal Wave making Braves country clean car country all season long. Here's Jeff McNeil, and the first pitch he sees is a ball outside. If the Braves pitch a scoreless 4th inning tonight, Tidal Wave will offer half off their Best Watch membership tomorrow. Learn more at TidalWaveAutospot.com/Braves. 1-0 from Strider. Fouled back into the screen, 1-1. By the way, a special hello tonight to Matt and George Dukes, who have tweeted in, listening on the beach at Waikiki Beach. How about that?
Wow, nice.
You guys got it made. Tuning into the Braves from Waikiki Beach. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll be sent foul down the right field line. That's quite the flex right there.
Yeah, it is a good flex, and it's only, 10 after 2 there, so they're getting plenty of Ray tones right now. Probably got a cold one in their hand, too.
That sounds like the place to be. Did you ever play any ball in Hawaii?
Yeah, they were in the Coast League.
Okay.
Played there a lot.
Pretty good little road trip. 1-2 on Jeff McNeil. Wind up in the 1-2. And McNeil sends one down the left field line, slicing foul.
For years, they were the Padres AAA team, which made some sense. But I think the last year they had a team, they were the Pirates AAA team. Pirates had to send for a guy 3 days in advance.
1-2 is outside. Well, imagine that. You go from AAA Hawaii to the big leagues in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big contrast.
Yeah. Can I think about it?
Yeah. 2-2 to McNeil. Pulled foul on the right field line.
I mean, back in the very, very old days, the Old Coast League and the Hollywood Stars, the San Francisco Seals, etc., there are a lot of players who So I'm doing fine here. No thanks.
Hey, let me just simmer right here in AAA.
Yeah, I'm making pretty good money.
Strider's 2-2 pitch. And McNeil fans the breeze. Slider got him swinging. Third strikeout for Strider. One down here in the fourth inning. Bat now in the hands of Tyrone Taylor. He singled and scored back in the second inning. Tyrone Taylor takes a called strike. Taylor, 31 years old. He's from Torrance, California. Originally with the Brewers. 0-1 pitch. He swings and misses, nothing at 2. He wears number 15, and that's a nod at his mom. His mom, Marissa, actually gave birth to Tyrone when she was 14 years old.
Oh, no, really?
And been there alongside of him all the way. 0-2 pulled foul. And his mom wore number 15 when she was young and playing sports and such. And he wanted to honor his mom wearing number 15. That's why he wears that number.
That's a great story.
0-2 to Taylor. And a lunge and a miss. Got him with a slider. Back-to-back strikeouts for Spencer Strider. Two away for Alvarez. I never get sick and tired of hearing about these stories about big league players' parents, be it mom or dad or both, and the sacrifices made to be there and support their son on their way to the big leagues. That'll be swung on and missed. And so many hours in the car driving to practice and games and traveling tournaments and hotels, whatever it may be, just to go support their child. And doing that year after year after year, and into high school and college and then minor leagues and then big leagues. And boy, what a thrill it must be to be the parent of a big leaguer. 0-1 to Alvarez. Cracked in the air deep down the right field line and foul. 0-2.
And these days, when you start talking about the travel ball expenses, private coaches, all that stuff, amazing.
0-2 to Alvarez. And he missed a little bit high. One nothing Mets. We're on the top of the fourth inning. Strider hoping to strike out the side. 1-2 to Alvarez. In the dirt. Count even 2-2. For Strider, he had just 2 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. And he has 2 strikeouts here in the fourth alone. 2-2 to Alvarez. Adios. Struck him out with a slider. And a great fourth inning for Strider as he strikes out the side. We advance to the bottom of the inning. Still 1-0 Mets.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, Can of Corn.
Easy fly ball.
What is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest thing is I started collecting when I was a kid. O-Pee-Chee was a Canadian hockey league, and then the Canadian football. But I didn't start in the U.S. until I had signed professionally as a ball player. And when I got my first rookie card, and I've got it here with me.
Let's take a peek at that.
1966 with Billy Sorrell.
Mets rolling into the bottom of the fourth inning alongside Joe Simpson and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. Got a good Thursday night crowd. Beautiful evening. Just need some runs up on the board. Mets picked up a run in the second on the base hit by Ronnie Mauricio. Then drove in Tyrone Taylor. That's been the only tally of the night. And now it's Olson, Ozuna, and Baldwin. Middle three in the order for the Braves here in the fourth inning. Back to work, Clay Holmes. Big, tall right-hander deals and misses inside. By the way, tomorrow is going to be a clean inning car wash celebration day for you at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Stop by tomorrow. Get half off their Best Wash membership for the first month. Thanks to that clean top of the fourth inning by Spencer Strider. 1-0 to Olson in for a called strike. Braves country is clean car country thanks to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information. You'll have a clean car tomorrow. 1-1 to Olson. A strike on the outside corner. He's not too sure about that call by Paul Clemens. It's one pitch, but man, that really changes the outlook of an at-bat. Thinking you got a 2-1 count, now it's 1-2.
100% it does. You have the luxury of guessing a little bit and looking for a certain pitch.
One, two, low and away. Missed with a changeup. .56 pitches from Clay Holmes, 34 strikes. And it's 2-2 to Olson. That'll swing and foul one back. Lots of finals already around Major League Baseball today. Nationals won a game. That snapped their, 11-game losing streak?
Yeah, James Wood, a home run in the bottom of the 11th.
They beat the Rockies 4-3. Two to Olson. That'll be fouled back. Twins cooled down the Reds a little bit. They had a 12-5 victory in Cincinnati. Yankees scored 7 times. That probably felt like about 17 runs for them, the way things have been going lately. They beat the Angels 7-3. Brewers beat the Cubs 8-7 at Wrigley. 2-2 is high, 3-2. Diamondbacks got a 9-5 win over the Blue Jays. Cardinals beat the White Sox 5-4.
That was in a doubleheader. They got rained out yesterday.
3-2 outside. There's a leadoff walk. That'll put Olson down at first base. Third walk allowed by Holmes. Second game of that doubleheader. They're tied at 6 in the bottom of the 9th inning in Chicago.
Both Chicago teams got rained out yesterday, and so did Detroit.
Phillies and Marlins tied at 1. That's through 7 now. They're going to the 8th down in Miami.
Yeah, they started early on getaway day.
Ozuna takes a called strike. All those scores delivered to you by Saya LTL Freight, the official freight carrier of the Atlanta Braves. Ozuna 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. And he'll spank one up the middle. So a walk and a single. And the Braves in business. No one out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
It's interesting. That's the first time Lindor wasn't playing someone right up the middle. And, of course, with the runner at first, I'm sure, and Ozuna up there, they were playing more double play position. So he was a little more to his right, but he hit it right where Lindor's been playing.
Now meeting at the mound, the entire infield is there. No coaches there. But the infield all getting together, having a board meeting. First and second, no one out for Drake Baldwin. Baldwin walks back in the 2nd inning. He could tie the game with a base hit right here. Home plate umpire Paul Clemens breaks up that meeting at the mound. Back behind the plate, Francisco Alvarez, who has some of the loudest catcher's gear you've ever seen. He looks like he could direct airplanes down there at the airport. All that orange on everywhere. In climbs Baldwin, and he'll swing and foul one off of Alvarez. That took a bite out of him, 0-1. It got Alvarez on the right thigh. He crumpled over in pain. 0-1 on Baldwin. Righty-lefty matchup. Now time called. And some barking from that Mets dugout. Oh, there's a ball that was under Alvarez.
That was the one that hit him. It was still sitting on the ground.
He was Mother Goose protecting that egg. All right, he's got it figured out now. 0-1 on Drake Baldwin. Holmes at the plate. And Baldwin pops one up. Foul ground, third base side. Mauricio in front of the railing of his own dugout makes the catch. And don't you know, Drake's disappointed. You hate that situation. One down. Still a couple of cracks at it. Ozzie Albies 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Last night, the bottom of the order, lots of production. Baldwin a hit. Ozzie had a couple of hits, including a double and a triple and a run scored. Allen was on base twice. Albies with a bullet out towards left field. There's a base hit. Olsen around third. Here's the throw out of Taylor. Throw to the plate. A dive, and he's in there. Matt Olsen beat it out. Got that left arm on the plate right in front of the tag of Alvarez, and the game is tied.
That was a good wave by Freddie Gonzalez. A bang-bang play at the plate, and it turned out. Matt had to wait to make that sure that ball got into center field, but Taylor had a long way to go to get it. Made an excellent throw, but too late.
Really nice slide by Olsen. Yeah, as he punched that through the left side, Matt held up, and you just hoped that Lindor wasn't going to be able to get to it. And that got on by him, so a tie game. Harris bunts, and it rolls foul. Not a bad idea. Jay Olsen, to let that ball get through at the same time, he was also shielding Lindor. I don't know that Lindor could really see it, and it moved right on by him. Now a base hit could give the Braves the lead. You got Ozuna down at second. 0-1 ground ball out to second. McNeil is on it. Squares and throws to second for one. That's all they get. So they get Ozzie down there at second base on the 4-6 putout. Over to third base, Ozuna. Fielder's choice for Michael Harris. Now you're going to ask Nick Allen to do exactly what he did back in his last at bat. He had a double in the third inning.
I want Harris running here early in the count.
Takes his lead at first. Pitch to Allen on a called strike.
Put some pressure on the defense. Make Alvarez make a good throw.
Harris at first. Ozuna at third. 0-1 to Nick Allen. And he takes a sweeper away. Counted 1 ball and 1 strike on Allen. He has 13 RBIs this season. Mauricio even with a bag at third. They're at regular depth up the middle. Alonso holding on Harris at first base. 1-1 to the plate. Line shot down the right field line, and a foul ball. Just barely foul. That would have been fun.
That would have been.
Landed about a foot outside the chalk down the right field line. Now 1-2 on Allen. One game, bottom of the fourth. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Allen grips the bat, waiting on Holmes. Righty brings it. And a ball low and outside. Had a good eye going with that sweeper away and laid off of it. 2-2 on Allen. 71 pitches out of Clay Holmes. Right-hander set at the letters. 2-2 pitch. A swing and a foul ball towards first base, and that's out of the reach of Alonso into the camera well at the end of the Braves dugout. Allen hanging in there.
Yeah, protecting the plate.
Allen digging back in with his sports goggles on. Eye black under each eye. Steadies his bat, staring down Holmes. Base hit means a run. 2-2 low and outside with a slider.
Boy, that was a good eye, wasn't it?
Sure was. Well, with Holmes, with a 3-2 count, we've seen him throw a sweeper, a slider, a change. Very unpredictable, even with a 3-2 count. Harris will take off at first base. There he goes, 3-2, and a called third strike fastball at the top of the zone. That just barely had the top of the zone, and that ends the bottom of the fourth. But the Braves tie the game with a base hit by Ozzie Albies. We go to the top of the fifth inning.
Lifeline. If you or someone you know is struggling emotionally, having thoughts of suicide or substance abuse problems, help is available 24/7. Call or text the Crisis Lifeline at 988. It's free and confidential. Remember, it is okay to not be okay.
Stream Braves baseball in crystal clear HD on the Fan app. Now with Apple CarPlay, so you can get it directly through your dashboard. Download the Fan app now.
Braves and Mets tied at 1 into the top of the fifth inning. And now for more play-by-play, here's Joe.
Thanks, Ben. The guy who delivered a run for the Mets earlier tonight, back in the second inning, Ronnie Mauricio will lead it off. Strider struck out the side last inning. And starts Mauricio with a called strike. 95. 5 strikeouts for Spencer. A 1-1 tie. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased one upstairs. That hit by Mauricio, his first hit of the series. He's 1 for 8. Calls time. Batting left-handed against Strider, right down on the knob of the bat. Spencer fires. Slider chased a bad ball, dug out by Baldwin. He'll have to throw to first to throw out Mauricio. Strikeout number 6 for Strider, and his 4th in a row, and his 5th of the last 6 batters.
All 6 have gone down swinging. A lot of those are those sliders.
Northside Hospital, for a healthier future together. Look to Northside. Top of the order in Francisco Lindor, who has hit 2 rockets tonight in the first and second inning, but both right at Michael Harris in center. 0 for 10 in the series. Wind in the pitch. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Riley was playing way back at third base. But when you're 0 for your last 10, you're ready to bunt or do whatever you got to do to get a hit. The 0-1 not bunting and taken down and in, ball 1. Lindor's average in this series now dropped below 269. Very rare for him to go 0 for against the Braves. The 1-1. High 2-1.
You know, the Mets have lost 5 straight. We've detailed the numbers by their bullpen and how their team hasn't scored too many runs and a lack of base hits with runners in scoring position. But I'm starting to feel like the Mets go as Lindor goes.
Good point. 2-1 pitch. Chased a high one. Came up empty, 2-2.
Because over the last 6 games, he's 3 for his last 24 with no RBIs in that stretch.
Very unlike him. Next offering, way outside, full count.
So it won't shock me if once he heats back up, all of a sudden they start looking back to what they were prior to this 5-game losing streak.
Me too. I'm with you. Payoff pitch. A little high, I guess. Wow. Didn't get the call. It's not a whole lot different than the pitch he rung up Nick Allen on, but that's ball 4. Wow.
Yeah, the location of that pitch from Strider was the exact same location as Holmes' pitch to Allen. The difference is the one to Allen was a fastball. That one was a slider from Strider. And while they finished in the same place, that fastball probably looked like it had the zone longer.
You're probably right. Here's Brandon Nimmo. First walk of the night issued by Strider. Nimmo has a double tonight. He takes a strike. Struck out his first time up. Doubled in the third. Stole third base, but was left stranded. Stretch. Throw to first. Lindor's back. 2 stolen bases tonight, and easy stolen bases, really, off of Strider. So looks like he's going to try to hold the runners a little better. Big lead for Lindor. The 0-1 to Nimmo. Another good pitch, called a ball. 1-1. And Clemens hearing it from the Braves dugout big time. Strider comes set. He delivers. Slider. Low. 2-1. 81 pitches, 54 strikes for Strider. A 1-1 tie. We're in the 5th. The delivery. Swung on, ripped down the right field line toward the pole, and foul. Whew. We've seen that plenty from Brandon Nimmo in this ballpark, and they're normally fair. That one hooked foul. 2-2 the count. He's got 13 homers. Lindor dancing off first, and Strider steps off. That's his second disengagement. He can't do that again unless he picks him off or he balks. Two and two the count. 1 out. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with that slider down and in again. Exact same pitch he struck him out on in the first inning. Strikeout number 7 for Spencer Strider.
Such a good slider. And twice it's got Nimmo, and that's just coming in wheelhouse on that left-handed hitter, and then the bottom just drops out, and it nosedives under the bat.
Here's Soto, who has singled and flied out, and he takes a strike. Fastball on the outer third. Soto's barking at Clemens now, but he complains a lot. So I'm sure Clemens takes it with a grain of salt. The 0-1. Strike 2 call.
It's a good adjustment by Strider there. Those perfectly located fastballs low and away and getting that call. That's a great pitch.
That one at 96. 2 out, 0-2, runner at first, tie game, throw to first, Lindor back. Soto hitting right at 250. 3 hits in the series, including a homer. Spencer shakes off 2 sides, now steps off. There's 2 disengagements. Trying to figure out what they want to throw here. 0-2 to Soto. Now they're ready. Lindor's going. The pitch swung on, bounced to the right side. Ozzie to his left has it. Flips to first, inning over. Soto not running hard down the line. An easy out. No runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still tied 1-1.
If you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the 1-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Sauce makes curly fries into curl your toes fries, and every plate of nachos into nacho heck yeah. Only the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is bold enough to be the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. That's Louisiana hot. Buy you some.
For game-changing performance on the field to getting things done around the house, Doers make a difference. And when it comes to home improvement needs delivered right to your door, the Home Depot is how Doers get more done.
While the rest of the sports media focuses on making up hot takes while you work, we focus on the Braves and what matters to you. Cellini and Domino weekdays from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan.
Joe Ben and Jay Chad with you as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, Ronald Acuna Jr., the batter. He's grounded out twice to McNeil at second base tonight. 1-1 tie. First pitch swinging, lining it foul off the screen down past the Braves dugout. Ronald 2 for 7 in the series with a homer leading off last night. Holmes works from the first base side of the rubber out of the stretch. The pitch over but low. 1-1. Clay Holmes fires inside. Ronald had the jackknife out of the way. 2-1. Holmes with the Pirates, the Yankees, and now the Mets. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside. 3-1. Leadoff walk would be nice. Holmes has already thrown more innings this year than he ever has in any one season, because he's now a starter. Hitters count. Down low, he walked him. Third walk issued by Clay Holmes. Second leadoff walk, and leadoff walk last inning led to a run.
I think that's an interesting number that you bring up on the innings for Holmes. It'll be something to watch in the second half, seeing how he holds up. It reminds me of some of the conversations we were having last season about Reynaldo Lopez.
It's actually the 4th walk issued by Holmes. And here is Verdugo. First pitch to him, a strike call. Yeah, you're right. Everybody concerned about Reynaldo last year. Still hold out hope that we'll see him in the second half. Good lead for Ronald, not going, and the pitch fouled at the plate, 0-2 to Verdugo. Alex has flied out and walked. 2 for 7 in the series, and 5 for 14 on the homestand. And the wave has broken out here at the ballpark. 1 run, 5 hits for the Mets. 1 run, 3 hits for the Braves. And the pitch, Verdugo takes low. His average at 256. Lindor playing him way up the middle. Left-handed batter, the pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Took a little off, change up, and Alex way out in front, 1 away. And Austin Riley, the batter. Strikeout number 4 for Holmes. Austin came up with 2 out runners on the corners in the 3rd inning with 2 out and struck out. And the pitch up and in. Look out, ball 1. He's also flied out, 0 for 2. 0 for 9 in the series with the game-winning sacrifice fly here Tuesday night. See if Austin can get into one here. The pitch swung on and ripped into right field. Soto over to get it, but look at Ronald flying around second, slides into third base. Good hustle by Acuna. I mean, he was picking them up and laying them down. 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
He had a great read on that, Soto in right field, and by the time Soto got the ball, Acuna was already around second base.
Man, he was going. He may have deked Soto a little bit, too, into thinking he wasn't going to go to 3rd, and then he turned it on. Chance for the Braves to take the lead. They're on the corners, 1 out, and Matt Olson, the batter. Olson has grounded out and walked and scored a run. Boy, Austin ripped that thing into right. Stretch and the pitch. Ball 1.
That was off Riley's bat at 112 miles an hour.
That's scorched, wasn't it? Huascar Brazopan begins to loosen up in the Mets bullpen. The pitch to Olson. Off the plate outside, ball 2. Change up. Mets have Lindor way up the middle for Matt. Ball 3. How about a green light here? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Acuna at 3rd, Riley at 1st. 1 out. The 3-0 to Olson on the way. Swung on, popped up, foul, and out of play. Fans, did you know that the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is the official hot sauce of the Braves and is made with peppers, vinegar, and salt in perfect balance to make the food you're eating taste better? Well, now you do. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some. Three and 1 the count. Matt takes low, ball 4, and they're loaded. And he's going to get a visit from the pitching coach, Jeremy Hefner. 5 walks. That's got to be a season high for this guy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's up there. I'll give you an idea about where he stands in that department. Let's see. He walked 4 at Houston on March 27th. So, yeah, this is a season high.
He just seems to be laboring. And Marcell Ozuna steps up with another bases-loaded opportunity. Remember, he cleaned the sacks here a couple of nights ago. Pete Alonso comes in on the grass at first. Everybody else is back. And the first pitch to Marcel outside, ball one. 91 pitches. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. 91 pitches for Holmes, 53 strikes, 38 balls. The stretch in the 1-0. Swung on, hit high and far down the right field line, but slicing foul into the screen. Well hit, but foul, 1-1. Marcel with 9 RBIs in his last 5 games. He's up to 39 on the year. The next offering, breaking ball outside, 2-1.
Well, this is the third time that they've seen Holmes in the game, and they've had a really good eye against him. I mean, just looking at this inning, walk, strikeout, single walk. And Ozuna with a really good eye for what Holmes is doing right here.
Acuna, Riley, and Olsen, the runners, third to first, respectively. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Sweeper. That's what he got Riley with first and third a couple of innings ago. Evens the count at 2-2. Drake Baldwin on deck. 1 out. Bases loaded. The pitch. Swung on, sliced foul into the crowd. Still 2-2. Another sweeper. Outfield straight away, normal depth, and the infield pretty much straight away with McNeil playing up the middle now. At second base, the pitch right down the middle, called strike 3. Marcel backs out of there angry at the call, but it looked like it was right there. Still barking at Clemens.
I mean, right at the bottom of the zone. Pitcher's pitch right there.
5 strikeouts for Holmes and a huge one on a perfect pitcher's pitch, has been said. Drake Baldwin, the batter. First pitch to him, high and tight, ball 1. Baldwin has walked and fouled out to the third baseman, Mauricio. Another 2-out knock would be nice. Here's the 1-0. Strike call. Cutter in there for strike 1-1. Braves have been very clutch on this homestand and need to come through here with the 2 out again. The stretch, the kick, and the pitch. Strike 2 call. Drake tried to jackknife out of the way to influence the call, but it looked like a 2-seamer that came back over the inside corner. Pitch number 100 coming from Holmes. Nods yes, now steps off. He's ahead of Baldwin 1-2. He just struck out Ozuna. And now the pitch. Check swing. They appeal. He didn't go. 2-2. All the infielders have backed up now. Alonso, McNeil, and Lindor all back near the outfield grass. The 2-2. Foul at the plate. And over to the ball boy. Drake 1 for 6 in the series. A hit here would be huge the way Strider's pitching right now. A 1-1 tie. 5th inning. The pitch. Fouled back. Spoiled a good pitch. Change up away. he was out in front on his front foot, but he got a piece of it. A Slocum, Alabama native in some trouble here. Clay Holmes, but he's trying to pitch out of it. Another 2-2 offering. Baldwin waits. Now the pitch. High, ball 3. Full count. And as Skip Carey would say, the old merry-go-round pitch. 2 out, everybody running. Fans coming to life here. And Holmes can't hear the pitch call on the PitchCom device. And it's getting louder in here. And now he says, I can't hear the device, and the fans really booing.
Well, what's funny about that is the second you acknowledge that you can't hear, it's not going to get any easier in a visiting ballpark. That was just a cue for the crowd to get even louder. Now, all of a sudden, toughest position he's been in the entire game, and all of a sudden the PitchCom device doesn't work?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
They're going to bring him another one. It's amazing to me, Ben, it just continues to amaze me that pitchers can't pitch unless they've got that device.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. Alvarez walking back to the plate, so is Paul Clemens, the umpire. Drake Baldwin never left the batter's box. So let's see what happens. Let's see what pitch they call. Let's see if it works. Fans raising the roof off right now. There go the runners. The pitch is low, ball 4. Whatever sign he gave him, whatever sign he couldn't hear, he couldn't throw it over the plate. And that'll be the last pitch that Holmes throws tonight. Carlos Mendoza bounces out of the dugout, and the Braves are on top 2-1. Mets go to the bullpen. We'll be right back as they make the Aero Exterminators call to the bullpen. You make the right call. Protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-GO-AERO or visit aeroexterminators.com. Back in a break.
TheWarriorAlliance.org.
I'm Cortland spokespug Cordy. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland. Visit Cortland.com to find your new apartment or one of our next level communities. Go Braves!
Spend your afternoon driving around with Chuck and Chernoff, and you could win a pair of Braves tickets. It happens during the 4 o'clock hour, weekday afternoons on 680 The Fan.
Braves leading for the first time tonight. It's a 2-1 Braves lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Mets into their bullpen. Right-hander Huáscar Brazoban is on for the second time in this series. You might remember him on the mound Tuesday night. He pitched the 10th inning and took the loss. Gave up an unearned run on that sac fly by Austin Riley as the Braves walked it off that night. But now the right-hander Brazoban out there. He's got a 1.62 ERA through 30 appearances.
And Ozzie Albies the batter. Ozzie's got a hit tonight. 1 for 2. Bases still loaded. A run in. And the pitch. Ozzie takes outside, ball 1. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Braves, a run on 5 hits for the Metropolitans. And the pitch. Ozzie takes again, ball 2. Another leadoff walk that resulted in a run against Holmes. Both runs for the Braves were leadoff walks that led to a run. Ozzie takes inside, ball 3.
This goes back to what you and I were discussing before Game 1. While the Mets have been great on the mound this year, their one weakness is walks, and that's been their biggest problem tonight.
Absolutely. It is 6. Go ahead.
3rd most walks in the National League.
And 6 tonight by Holmes. Ozzie, green light? No. Ball 4, he forced in another run. 3-1 Atlanta. 2 runs in the inning thanks to bases loaded walks. Michael Harris, the batter. '26th RBI for Ozzie. Harris lays off a breaking ball for a strike. Michael is really due. 0 for 2 tonight, and 0 for 10 in the series. And the pitch, strike call, 0-2.
Tell you what, Joe, given that the Dodgers haven't started yet tonight, the 6 walks by Mets pitchers this evening puts them into first place. Most walks in the National League.
Wow. For a first-place club. The 0-2 fouled back. Let's pause for station identification, Braves Network.
Every Atlanta Braves game, live on the air and streaming free on the app.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan.
The 0-2 again to Michael, rolled to the right side. Alonso charges right at the bag. He almost stumbles over the bag, but it's in fair territory, and he gloves it and records the out in the inning, and is over. But the Braves score 2 runs on only 1 hit. There was 1, 2.
So without further ado, snap on your time goggles and prepare to zoom 1,000 years into the future. The D-backs are still the D-backs, though now they're represented by a robotic techno-snake, and the Cubs have embraced their future amongst the stars, now being represented by Ursa Major. Minneapolis was the first to establish relations with our extraterrestrial friends. The Rays are the cosmic rays flying through space in their devil ray-shaped spacecraft.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
Home of the Braves, 680 The Fan and the Fan app.
Fans, Napa is a proud partner of your Atlanta Braves with America's largest network of parts and care. Napa has all the bases covered when it comes to your ride. Spencer Strider out there for his 6th inning of work, and he's suddenly got a 3-1 lead. Alonso, Marte, and McNeil due up. Wine in the first pitch delivered high, ball 1. Alonso has singled and struck out. 7 strikeouts for Spencer. He kicks and delivers. Strike call, 1-1. 88 pitches for Strider. Wind in the pitch. Breaking ball low. 2-1. Braves lead 3-1 on only 4 hits. Mets a run on 5 hits. The delivery. Swung on, bounce to the right side. Ozzie to his left. Handles a tricky hop. Comes up throwing. Nice play. 1 out. Ozzie was playing him up the middle and had to range quite a ways to his left to make a good play. Starling Marte is grounded out twice. Once to third, once to short. Wind in the pitch. He shows bunt with Riley playing deep. Takes outside, ball 1. Marte the DH for the second night in a row. And the pitch. Strike call. Marte hitting .258, 4 homers, 18 driven in. Had a couple of hits last night. Next pitch, swung on, lifted to right field, fairly deep. Acuna going back near the track, right on the edge of the track, makes the catch, 2 down.
This is such a crucial inning for Strider for many reasons, but you just took the lead, and he's in his 6th inning of work. He's approaching 95 pitches. And if he can go out there and finish up a 1-2-3 inning, have a shutdown inning, get the boys right back into the dugout, that'd be huge for him.
In the last 4 innings, he's only faced 2 over the minimum. 1 on a double by Nimmo and 1 on a walk to Lindor. And here's McNeil, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it back, 0-1. Enyo De Los Santos up playing catch in the Braves pen. 3-1 Atlanta. Top of the 6th. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch bounced up there and then bounced right to the glove of and the target of Drake Baldwin. Looked like a strike, like he was framing it. The 1-1. Swung on, hooked over the bag. Nope, foul. That was close. Down the right field line.
Well, I'll tell you another thing, too. If you can get Strider through the 6th inning and you go to the bullpen next inning, the bullpen has only been used for 3 1/3 innings this entire series.
Yeah.
Starters have been terrific.
Only had to work a third of an inning last night.
Right.
Strider ahead 1-2. The next pitch. Swung on and missed. Threw it right by him. Strikeout number 8. 3 up and 3 down. Go the Mets. We go to the home run jackpot inning. Braves up 3-1.
Hey, Braves fans. Summer is officially here, and you know what that means. Bugs, termites, mosquitoes, ants, and roaches will be out in full force. Luckily, you could trust the pros at Arrow.
You like to play it fast and loose on the field, Pisces, since you're a natural athlete and don't have to try too hard to be one of the standout players. But thinking strategically about your approach against upcoming teams will help set you up for success before you even take the field. Getting familiar with the stats and metrics of the opposition will give you the upper hand next time you're facing off on the diamond.
I was in AAA, and right before the game, they said, no, you gotta stop. You need to hurry up and go to Cincinnati. You're about to go play a game there. You got 45 minutes till the game starts. So I get in my car and I start driving, and all I keep thinking about is, which jersey are they wearing that night? So when I get to the locker room, I see my jersey hung up, and love the white jerseys, just the stitching on it, the old school feel to it.
Without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves. Hey, folks, we in the locker room want to send you to a Braves game. This is home team Brandon Leak reminding you that a pair of tickets are up for grabs during the 7 o'clock hour every weekday morning on 680 The Fan.
Braves sent 8 men to the plate last inning, plated a couple of runs. 9-hole hitter Nick Allen will lead off in the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning and take a strike. Patty Oliver of Hull, Georgia, Hull, Georgia, is our contestant. $1,600 in the home run jackpot. Nick looking for his first homer of the year. Takes outside to even the count 1-1. He has doubled and struck out. Allen, Acuna, and Verdugo due up against Brazoban. Ground ball off the pitcher's glove. Rolls over towards short. Picked up by the third baseman, Mauricio, but no play. And an infield hit. Second hit of the night for Nick Allen. Attaboy. Ronald Acuna has grounded out twice, walked, and scored. He got the inning started last inning with a leadoff free pass. Brazoban, the big, tall right-hander, delivers. Strike call on the inside corner at 91. That was a 91-mile-an-hour changeup. How you like that? Hits are even at 5. Braves lead 3-1. And the pitch inside, too far this time, with another changeup, 1-1. Nick Allen's got some wheels. He got 6 stolen bases this year. Big hole on the right side, though, for Ronald if he wants to go that way. The 1-1. Inside ball 2. Trying to crowd him. Alex Verdugo waits on deck. And the pitch. Swung on, pulled, foul behind Freddie Gonzalez. Third base side, 2-2. If you'd like to enter for your chance to win at least $1,000 in the Georgia Lottery, visit 680thefan.com/GA Lottery. Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. Stretch in the pitch. Slider outside. Missed, full count. We'll keep an eye on Nick Allen to see if he's running here. Brazoban working quickly. Runner goes. A pitch swung on, lifted down the left field line, but hooking foul. Got in on Ronald just a little bit, but he turned on it. We'll do it again. Great crowd here again tonight, and boy, were they loud last inning. The 3-2 pitch again. Time called. This time by Ronald.
Yeah, the crowd did their part contributing to those 4 walks last inning, didn't they?
They sure did. There goes the runner. Another 3-2 pitch, another walk. First and second. Nobody out. Second walk by Brazoban to go with the 6 that were issued by Holmes. Alex Verdugo has one of the walks. He's also struck out and flied out 0 for 2. Second walk of the night for Ronald. Verdugo takes outside ball 1. 19 pitches for Brazoban. 10 balls, 9 strikes. And Verdugo showed bunting, was going to push it to third base, but fouled it off. Count 1-1. He got the bat out there a little bit too late.
Joe, they have 8 walks tonight. The most walks the Mets have had in a game this season, 9, just 4 days ago against the Rays.
Goodness. Well, that just puts your defense on their heels, too. 1-1. Verdugo, little tapper out in front of the mound. That might work as well as a bunt. Brazoban picks it up, underhands to first, and the runners move up to second and third on the ground out by Verdugo. That'll work. And Austin Riley, the batter. Riley roped a single to right center his last time up. That sent Ronald from first to third. Infield comes in. Second and third, one out. Time called. And we got a violation on Brazoban, so it's a 1-0 count. How hard did you say Austin hit that ball a little while ago? Like 109?
How about 112?
112. How'd you like to be playing in on the grass with Austin Riley?
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
The 1-0 pitch. Check swing. He didn't go. 2-0.
They have Justin Hagenman tossing in their bullpen.
The 2-0 to Austin. Inside ball 3. First base open. Matt Olson on deck. Three to 1 Atlanta. 2 runs walked in last inning. The pitch. Inside ball 4. They're loaded. Another walk. My goodness. Jeremy Hafner, the pitching coach, on his way to the mound. They might buy more time for the bullpen, I guess. This has turned into a walk-a-thon.
Yeah, that's tied their season high. So this is the second game in a week that they've had 9 walks in a game. Looking down at pitching coach Jeremy Hefner, I don't think he was quite that gray a week ago.
No. This is unbelievable. This is a first-place team. But even Holmes, 25 walks and 78 innings coming in, Ben.
Well,
that's not horrible, but it's not great.
Well, one thing that we gave them credit for with their pitching staff is they've done very well with runners in scoring position and stranding runners. But that's not sustainable all year.
Here's Matt Olson. He takes low, ball 1.
When you play long enough with fire, it's going to burn you.
Olson's walked twice. He's also grounded out in the pitch. Strike call, 1-1. Change up, 92. Philadelphia beat Miami 2-1. Wind in the pitch, swung on, hook to right field. Stay fair, ball into the corner. Everybody run. Everybody touch the bags. Everybody get waved home. Here's a throw to the plate. Save! A 3-run double for Olson. Six to 1 Atlanta. RBIs for Olson, and they didn't get away with that runners in scoring position work there, did they?
That's making them pay. And look, you walk 9 guys in a game, and eventually you might be bending inning after inning, but eventually you're going to break. And that broke them right there with that big bases clearing double. Huge hit for Olson.
And with Riley running from first, you knew he had a shot to come all the way around. Well, the Mets do it again. They make the Aero Exterminators call to the bullpen. You make the right call and protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-GO-AERO or visit aeroexterminators.com. Back to tell you who the new pitcher is right after this on the
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
apartment home at Cortland.com.
For game-changing performance on the field to getting things done around the house, doers make a difference. And when it comes to home improvement needs delivered right to your door, the Home Depot is how doers get more done.
Hey, Braves fans, this is John Michaels reminding you that Jeff Francoeur joins Finn, home team, and me in the locker room every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. on your radio home of the Braves, 680 The Fan.
Braves have taken control, a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the sixth inning after the bases clearing double by Matt Olson. New pitcher is the rookie right-hander Justin Hagenman, Hagenman. Hagenman has made one major league appearance. And to this point, 3 1/3 innings, 1 run, 3 hits allowed this year. And he's on now. The other major league appearance for Hagenman was on April 16th at Minnesota. So it's been a while since he's been in the big leagues, just his second major league appearance.
Runner at second, 1 out. Marcell Ozuna takes a strike. Mets happy to just see a strike from Hagenman. Marcell 1 for 3, a single. Takes low, 1-1. Mets got a run in the second. Braves 1 in the fourth. 2 in the fifth, 3 so far here in the sixth. The pitch. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. Hagenman works on the third base side of the rubber. Right-hander fires. Ground ball, one hopper to Alonso. He's got it. Tiptoes over toward first and then tosses to Hagenman covering. 2 down. Over to third goes Olson, who just delivered a bases-clearing double. Drake Baldwin drew a big walk last inning, forced in a run. He's walked twice tonight and fouled out. 0 for 1. And takes inside ball 1. Again, our contestant is Patty Oliver from Hull, Georgia. $1,600 in the jackpot. How about a long ball? A 1-0. Swung on, hit hard, first base side, but just foul. One and 1. 6 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. A run on 5 hits for the Mets. Nine walks for the Mets pitchers. 4 of them have scored. This 1-1 pitch, Baldwin takes outside 2-1. After the game, Braves head to Miami. 3-game weekend set down there. Stretch on the pitch, pulled foul over to the Braves on deck circle. 2-2 to Baldwin. First pitch at 7:10 tomorrow night. It's a TBA for the Braves against a pitcher whose last name, believe it or not, is Junk. 2-2. Fouled again. Now that TBA for the Braves doesn't appear to be a real well-kept secret. Reports are out that Didier Fuentes, the kid who just turned 20 years old on Tuesday, will make the start for the Braves. Wow. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Still alive, 2-2.
I think I'm going to have some fun tomorrow night with Jansen Junk's last name.
Yeah, you might have a lot of fun. I know Darren will be all over that. Olson at third. 2 out, the 2-2. Swung on, hit hard to the right side, and through. Base hit. A 2-out knock for Drake Baldwin. Olson scores. 7-1 Atlanta. Give Baldwin his 21st RBI of the year.
And just keep tacking on runs. That's a really good at bat. Went down to get it. Once it bounced, that really sprung through. That second hop, once it hit the dirt, it took off and whizzed by McNeil. You can close the line now on Brazoban. 4 runs on his line.
Ozzie Albies the batter. He swings and puts a charge in one, but straight up the chute. Taylor over, calling for it, and he's got it. and the inning comes to an end. But the Braves put 4 on the board, and they do it with just 3 hits, couple.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of. To punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Citco today. Savings scoot up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
While the rest of the sports media focuses on making up hot takes while you work, we focus on the Braves and what matters to you. Cellini and Domino, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan.
All right, bullpen, do your thing. 7-1 Atlanta. Iñigo de los Santos gets the call to start the 7th inning after good work by Spencer Strider. Second start in a row that have been really good for Spencer. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. And Iñigo de los Santos comes on. He's 2-2, 3.99 ERA, just a 2.04 batting average against him for the year. So we go to the 7th and back to coast his way home is Ben Ingram.
Thank you, Joe. That's brilliant work by you. 6 runs in 2 innings. That'll be swung on a miss by Tyrone Taylor. Well, you love when you have a surge like that offensively, but especially when they're giving you walks and you cash those in for runs. I mean, those are freebies. They're just giving you a base. And of the 9 walks, Braves have turned 4 of those into runs. That's big. 0-1 to Taylor in for a called strike. And that has plagued the Mets all year, and I'll be curious to see how that plays out over the rest of the season. If that's something that continues to ail them, and furthermore, how that impacts where they are in the standings the rest of the season. Well, that's just not sustainable. 0-2 to Taylor, a reach and a miss for strike 3. 1 down in the 7th inning. And it wasn't just Braziban. I mean, Holmes with 6 walks.
Can you imagine the Mets faithful right now and where they are?
Right.
Whew.
I mean, it's one thing if you're giving up a bunch of hits, but when you're giving out free pass after free pass, that'll drive you crazy. Bat in the hands of Francisco Alvarez. He'll foul one back. 6 walks out of Holmes. And then Braziban thrust right into that situation. He was tighter than a fiddle string out there. And he walked 3 batters. And then the Braves tallied 4 times there in the 6th inning and take a commanding 7-1 lead.
Strider retired 13 of his last 15.
What a finish for Spencer. Here comes the 0-1 pitch all the way to Alvarez. There goes the bat. He swings and misses, and the bat helicoptered into the net down by the Mets dugout. Oh, he gets the bat back, and he'll spray the handle down and put some stickum on the handle. That was quite the toss with that bat.
That was a good one.
You said the Mets go home to see the Phillies?
Actually, they go to Philadelphia.
They go to Philadelphia, okay. 0-2. Low and outside. Well, so long as the Braves hold on and win this game, they would be tied with the Phillies for first place starting that series tomorrow.
Let me see who's coming in after the Phillies. After us.
1-2 misses high. 2-2 on Francisco Alvarez. 7-1 Braves, top of the 7th.
They then go on the road just 3 days to Pittsburgh. Then they got Milwaukee and the Yankees.
2-2 is low, 3-2. Yankees won today. They had seen their lead in the East shrink to a game and a half. Three-two fouled back. So this last week and a half for the teams in New York, it's been a June swoon for them.
Boy, it has. Tell you, the Angels gave the Yankees all they want. They had won 3 in a row and 6 out of 10.
Again, the payoff pitch. Fouled off into the third deck down the first base line.
Houston's playing really well, though, in the American League West. They won 7 out of 10 going into play tonight. I'm not sure they were playing tonight. They have a 5.5 game lead over Seattle, who also took a big nosedive.
Yeah, they really did. 3-2, high heat, swung on and missed. 2 down in the 7th inning. I mentioned this to you the other day. Houston right now, last 7-8 years, is starting to remind me of what we saw out of the Braves in the 90s, where it just didn't matter who was on the team. They're going to be in first place.
Yeah, and it didn't matter really how they started.
Yeah.
Houston always figures out a way to get back on track, and their pitching's doing it for them.
2 down for Ronnie Mauricio. And they'll send one down the right field line foul. Coming up, it'll be the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the Warrior Alliance. Going to bat for veterans and their families by helping them navigate success after military service. To learn more, go to thewarrioralliance.org. I keep thinking the Mariners are going to break through. They just never do here in these last few seasons.
Something missing there, and I'm not sure what it is.
0-1 low and in. They've had great pitching.
Boy, solid. Few injuries. Got a catcher that's all-world this year, Cal Raleigh.
That'll be dribbled foul. Yeah, Raleigh's having a huge season. Dylan Lee now tossing for the Braves. One-two to Mauricio on a ground ball foul. Since 2017, the Astros have won the American League West every year but one. That 2020 shortened season. But every 162-game campaign going back to 2017, they've won the division. And nobody else can break through. 1-2, chopper out there to the mound. Coming off the first base side, De Los Santos has got it. Flips to Olsen. That's a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Braves feeling good about this one. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Braves leading 7-1.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Go ahead, caller. Got a question for Michael Harris II?
Hey, Mike. Are you giving away your Bronco again this year?
You know it. Let me tell you how. One lucky fan could drive home Michael Harris II's custom Ford Bronco. Go to winmoneymikesbronco.com and get a link to enter for a chance to win today. This year, it was all my idea. No purchase necessary. Odds depend on entries received. Open to select legal residents of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee 18 or older. Rules at winmoneymikesbronco.com. Entries must be received by and sweeps ends 9/2/25. Void where prohibited.
Are you in the market for a mortgage? If you're borrowing for a big purchase, save money with my friends at Georgia's Own Credit Union. Because Georgia's Own is local and not for profit. You can get better rates, pay fewer fees, and through the end of June, enjoy a rate discount when you choose Georgia's Own for your mortgage loan.
For details, visit georgiasown.org/playball or stop by one of their branch locations.
I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
For primary residence purchase, mortgage loans must lock in rate by June 30th. Must qualify and receive final approval. Restrictions apply. Georgia's Own is an equal housing lender.
Everyone knows your name. Book your stay at omnihotels.com/Battery Atlanta.
We in the locker room want to send you to a Braves game. This is Brian Finneran reminding you that a pair of tickets are up for grabs during our 7 o'clock hour every weekday morning on 680 The Fan.
Michael Harris climbing in to lead it off with the Braves in the bottom of the 7th inning. If you're just now tuning in, you've missed a lot. Braves in the middle innings picked up 7 runs and have a 7-1 lead. Michael strikes one on the ground to second base. Glove by Jeff McNeil. He'll whip it over there to Alonso for the out. Michael Harris grounds out to second. And one down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll bring Nick Allen to the plate. Braves were down 1-0 going into the 4th. And then they scored once in the 4th, twice in the 5th, 4 times in the 6th inning. And they've had big base hits, but the Mets have been giving the Braves break after break with altogether 9 walks tonight. There's a called strike. I mentioned earlier that's the most walks the Mets have had in a game this season. It actually ties their previous season high, which just happened 4 days ago against the Rays. Ball low and outside. Meanwhile, on the other side of the docket, the 9 walks for Braves batters, the most for the Braves this season. Well, they've done a nice job taking a patient approach. Good eye. 1-1 to Allen. He'll cut it loose and miss a slider away. Nick Allen's had a nice night. He's contributed 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a run scored. Hagenman brings it. Check swing he went. Couldn't hold back on that high sinker, and he strikes out. 2 down. Did you know the all-time hot sauce leader at RBIs is the original Louisiana brand hot sauce? The original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves, is like a double play for your mouth. That's Louisiana hot. Buy you some. Speaking of heat, we're about to have a lot of it on this next road trip. Ronald Acuna takes a called strike. I mean, the first part of that, Miami, obviously. It'll be warm there. But I looked at the forecast in New York. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Acuna takes a ball inside. Fortunately, we're playing night games. The high one of the days in New York is 100. Going to be a heat wave up there.
Really?
Yeah. 1-1 inside.
Can we put in a call to Al Roker?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be a Monday through Thursday next week. There's a comebacker up the middle, backhanded back of the bag by McNeil at second. Has time to plant and throw. Throws high, but Alonso leaps and comes down on the bag. And that ends the bottom of the 7th. More on those hot temperatures when we come back. We go to the top of the 8th inning, 7-1 Braves.
Marco's Pizza and Karate Kid Legends.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
Creedham, the top of the order for the Mets. And this will be the Yanmar strikeout the side inning. How about a winner? We haven't had a winner yet. Game number 73. Still looking for our first Yanmar strikeout the side inning winner. And if Dylan Lee strikes out the side this inning, our contestant Steve Frank will be the lucky winner of a brand new Yanmar utility terrain vehicle. Enter all season long at braves.com/Yanmar. That'll give you your chance to win a Yanmar UTV, and you'll also be entered for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season. Yanmar, built together, back longer. Francisco Lindor climbing in. Pitch on the way from Dylan Lee. There's a ball low. All right. Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Miami. The high is 90 all 3 days. Now, they'll probably have the roof closed. Well, that's not bad for Miami in June.
No.
1-0 to Lindor. There's a called strike. When we get to New York, high Monday, 95. High Tuesday, 100. High Wednesday, 93. And then on Thursday, 86 with some showers. There's the 1-1 pitch. Bouncer right back to Dylan Lee. He's got it. He'll throw over there to first base for the out, 1 down. So what I'm telling you is it's going to be warmer in New York in June than in Miami.
Well, here's what the advice I would give you. Veteran advice, okay?
All right.
If you're going to go, check out, bikini watching, I'd do it in Miami.
Brandon Nimmo fouls one back. Because you can see bikinis in both towns, but Miami might be a little bit more favorable.
I would highly recommend your first stop.
Nothing in one on Brandon Nimmo. Let me write that down. Make sure I get that right.
Yeah.
0-1 to Nimmo is a fly ball to deep center field. Michael Harris tracking. He's casually under it. And in deep center puts it away. 2 down in the 8th inning. Looking back on this one, lots of places we can go for our truest play of the game, but I think it's pretty obvious you got to go to Matt Olson's bases clearing double in the 6th inning of this game. That really ripped it open. Braves comfortably leading 7-1, and a big part of that is because of Olson's double in the 6th inning, and that's our truest play of the game. Brought to you by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. 2 down for Juan Soto. And Soto takes a called strike. Lee brings it. Just missed inside with a fastball.
Attention media, tonight's attendance, 39,234. 39234.
Got a sellout crowd tonight.
It's the 16th sellout of the season.
Here's the 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. That was the voice of Jeff Lombardi on our PA system here in the press box announcing tonight's attendance.
39,234. 16th sellout.
Crowd giving it to Juan Soto. 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now being led by Matthew Kaminsky on the organ. 2-2 to Soto. Pack him up. Got him looking. Fastball painted on the outside corner. Soto just left standing there shaking his head, as are all the Mets fans who have made the trip to Atlanta. They go down in order. We go to the bottom of the inning. 7-1 Braves.
Ameris isn't just a bank. We're your bank, and we're proud to provide you free checks.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's awesome.
Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
Lit by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. Bring the heat. Stream Braves baseball in crystal clear HD on the Fan app. Now with Apple CarPlay, so you can get it directly through your dashboard. Download the Fan app now.
Braves 7, Mets 1. Alex Verdugo leads off at the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch from Hagenman in for a called strike. Well, the only positive news for the Mets tonight was when Juan Soto got his career 1,000th base hit. And since then, they have been silenced. They had that one little run back in the 2nd inning, and they have been completely hypnotized by Strider, De Los Santos, and Lee since then. Been a terrific night on the mound for the Braves. 1-1 to Verdugo, low and outside. And then what the Braves did in the middle innings, surging forth with 7 runs. And stretching this thing out. Been a good night. 2-1 in for a called strike. And when we go to the top of the 9th inning, Braves will be rolling into the top of the 9th with one hand on the broom and their mind on sweeping the floor. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Verdugo, the fly ball to center. Tyrone Taylor to his left makes the catch. 1 out in the 8th inning.
I don't know if I've got this right, but Braves have retired 11 in a row and 18 out of the last 19. Does that sound right?
Yeah, going back to that double in the 3rd inning?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only man to reach in that span was the walk to Lindor in the 5th. I mean, since the 2nd inning, only 2 men have reached for the Mets. Austin Riley takes the ball outside.
Braves pitchers have struck out 11.
1-0 to Riley. Ground ball to the left side. Mauricio cuts off Lindor. Rears back and fires. And 2 down. Well, we mentioned the losing streak for the Mets. It's reached 5 games. And with 3 outs in the 9th inning, it would be a 6-game losing streak, which would be their longest losing streak of the season. This already is their longest losing streak of the season. But they were swept in their last series at home against the Rays and are on the verge of being swept here. The Mets had not been swept in a series all season before last weekend. There's a ball low and inside to Olsen. So now they run the risk of being swept in back-to-back series after not being swept all year. 1-0, fouled back.
Tide's a changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. One to Olsen. Check swing, didn't go. Well, their last 5 games plus the action tonight, the Mets have been outscored 41-14. Whew. 2-1 to Olsen. Lifted foul into the seats down the left field line.
And if they don't rally, they are going to fall back into a tie with the Phillies for first place.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Olsen drives one towards deep right center field. That's going to split the gap and pound off the wall in right center field. And Olsen trots into second standing, and it's a double.
Again.
That is his second double of the game. He's been on base 4 times in the game. Got a good pitch and absolutely blasted it off the wall on the fly. When it hit the wall, it was about a foot higher than the ground. Hit right at the bottom of the right center field wall. Olsen with 18 doubles this season, 2 of them tonight. Marcell Ozuna takes the ball low and outside. Braves 7, Mets 1, bottom of the 8th. One-0 pitch. Ozuna swings and misses. You know, it really is amazing thinking back on how things took place in Game 1 of this series. And a punch to the gut of the Mets with the Braves coming back, winning that game. And they haven't balanced themselves since then. There's a check swing, didn't go. I mean, that 3-run 8th inning, it's one thing for a game to swing on 1/2 inning, but you can make the argument that the series swung in that 1/2 inning.
I think you're right.
And it was this man who did all the damage. Ozuna, he swings and misses 2-2. That was a game where the Braves were trailing 4-1 at the end of 7.5, and they were just sleepwalking offensively. But then a 3-run 8th tied the game. Game 1 extras, sac fly RBI by Austin Riley won the game. And the Braves came back and stunned the Mets. Shut them out last night 5-0, and have pounded them tonight 7-1. 2-2 low and outside, 3-2.
Sidebar to that, Ben, is all the base running blunders.
Right.
The catcher's balk / interference last night. Just kind of a
3-2, hit hard, deep left, going back. Nemo on the track makes an over-the-shoulder catch and gently into the left field wall. And there's out number 3. Braves get a 2-out double. Nothing beyond that. They will carry.
For Atlanta to host the biggest names in baseball. Look for Fiddler Chin Music 8 Years Blue Label this June.
We want to send you to see a game at Truist Park. Listen for your chance to win a pair of tickets weekday afternoons during our 4 o'clock hour on Chuck and Chernoff on 680 The Fan.
Rafael Montero out of the bullpen for the Braves to work the 9th inning. De Los Santos worked the 7th, 3 up and 3 down, 2 punch-outs. Dylan Lee, 3 up and 3 down in the 8th with a strikeout. And now Montero under work. No record for the year. And with Atlanta, his ERA 4.50 in 21 games.
Pete Alonso, the batter. And Alonso crushes one high and deep but foul. That will land up in the 3rd deck. Deep down the left field line. That got up there. 0-1 for Montero. Miss low. Count even 1-1. Alonso 3 hits in the series. He's gone 3 for 11. And of his 3 hits, all 3 have been singles. He'll take that every time. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back 1-2.
They've handled the guy they had to handle at the top of the order, though, Ben, to keep him off the bases.
Right.
Lindor 0 for 11 in this series. 4 strikeouts. Nemo just a couple of hits.
One, 2 to Alonso. Have a seat, Pete. He swings and misses at a fastball. 1 out in the 9th inning.
12 in a row set down by Atlanta pitching.
That's a dozen strikeouts for Braves pitchers to just 1 walk. That's the big difference in this game. Starling Marte takes the ball low and outside. I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm thinking about this lineup for the Mets. Nemo, Soto, Alonso, Marte, McNeil. They got lots of names who can hurt you. Dangerous hitters. Marte whacks one in the air to deep right field. Going back Acuna. Ronald will play this off the base of the right field wall. Bare hands, fires in, and that'll be just a little bit late. Sliding in feet first was Marte. Pretty good effort by Ronald to that deep throw out of right field. And it's a 1-out double for Marte. But finishing that thought, if you can eliminate Lindor as a factor, that just changes everything for this Mets lineup. And they have kept him very quiet. One out for Jeff McNeil. He's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a line out. Braves leading 7-1, top of the 9th. And the big base hit, the bases clearing double by Matt Olson back in the 6th inning. McNeil with a bouncer out to first base. No problem for Olson. Underhand toss to Montero. He's at the bag. 2 down as Marte advances to third base. Early in the game, Mets are probably thinking, okay, our fortunes are changing.
Yeah.
When they had the 2-out base hit from the 9-hole hitter, of all people, to drive in the first run of the game. And nothing since then. That's how good Strider and company have been. Here's Tyrone Taylor. Braves looking for one more out. First pitch, a called strike. Right at him with a fastball, 96. For the Braves, it would be their second sweep this season and their first since sweeping the Twins all the way back in April. And 1 out away from a sweep of the Mets. 0-1 pitch, missed high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, I said after game 1 of this series that I didn't see that coming with that great comeback. And I sure didn't see a sweep coming, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, this has been great. 1-1 to Taylor. He swings and fouls one back. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Never miss a pitch of the Braves.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan, and streaming free on the Fan app.
1-2, 2 down. Braves leading by 6 runs. On the pitch on the way, low and outside. Got a sellout crowd tonight on a Thursday evening. Everybody's standing. The Mets traveled well. They had lots of fans here for this series, but they have been frowning ever since they stepped foot on Georgia soil. 2-2 on Taylor. Here it comes. Missed high, 3-2.
5 runs scored in this series for the Mets. 4 came in game 1.
Wow. Montero trying to slam the door and get the final out and secure the sweep in this series. Ready with his 3-2 pitch. He cuts it loose. Got him swinging, strike 3. It's a Braves win. They sweep the Mets. Mets came down here and got peeled like an apple by the Braves. And Atlanta wins it 7-1 over New York. And the Braves have now won 3 straight. And they'll try to keep this momentum rolling as we head down to Miami to see the Marlins starting tomorrow night. But this was a massive series win and massive sweep for the Braves, taking out the first-place Mets 3 games in a row. For the Mets in the 9th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Final score, Braves 7, Mets 1. Back with the totals after this.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing.
4.
But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more,